Hi, welcome to Mom's Kitchen in July. Today we're going to show you how to make linguine with pesto, and we're going to start with the pesto sauce. There's nothing better than pesto made with fresh basil, and my helper is going to show you how to pick it from the garden.
So for the pesto recipe, we need about 2 cups of basil leaves, and we grow basil in our garden because it just gets really lush, and fresh basil in general tastes way better than anything store-bought. So for the measurement, you start picking your basil leaves, and then once you have a few like this, it's important to pack them down to get an accurate measurement.
We've got our 2 cups of stemmed basil leaves from the garden. Now we're going to put the sauce together. We're going to use 1/3 cup Parmesan cheese, 1/3 cup Romano cheese, also called pecorino in some places. We've got a 1/3 cup of walnut pieces and 1/4 cup of pine nuts. So to blend these, we put them in the mixer. With a little bit of salt and pepper, not too much because it can be added at the table to each person's taste. When it's blended enough, it clumps together and looks a little bit moist. And now we're going to put these ingredients in a bowl. The next step is to combine the parsley and the basil leaves. And for the parsley, we don't use the stems, so just pick the clumps of leaves off the end like that. So we've got 1 cup of parsley. And the basil the stems have already been removed by my helper who brought it in from the garden. So now we're going to put these ingredients into the blender. And we have 1 cup of parsley and 2 cups of basil leaves. Okay. So we have to blend in batches because when we start blending it, the volume reduces. Now we can add some of the basil leaves. You can pack them in pretty tight. And we'll add these in batches. Now we're going to add 1 clove of garlic, and to peel the garlic clove more easily, just press it a little bit with a knife so that the skin cracks a little bit, and then you can just peel it. So put it in the garlic press and add this to the parsley and basil. And we're also going to add a little bit of water to give it a little bit more liquid so it blends better. So that looks nicely pureed. And the next step is to add our nut mixture. So we'll add some more of our nut and cheese mixture. And the proportion of parsley and basil to the nut and cheese mixture is your choice. You can have it more green or more cheesy and nutty depending on your taste. This is starting to look really nice. It's a nice smooth paste and has a good color. So I think we'll just leave it the way it is. Linguine noodles are called bavette number 13, and they're a flat noodle. And this is what we're using for our recipe. The amount of noodles for one portion can be measured by taking them in your hand like this, and it's about this much per person. So we brought a generous amount of water to the boil, and we're going to add, always when you boil pasta, you add a nice pinch of salt to the water. This raises the boiling temperature, and a little bit of olive oil, so it makes a layer on the top, and that prevents the noodles from frothing and boiling over. So our recipe is for 3 people. So I'm going to add the noodles now. We're going to need some of the cooking water for blending the sauce, so I'll take that out and set it aside. Now to check if the noodles are cooked, I'll take one out and throw it on the counter so it cools down just a little bit. And then we'll check for if it's cooked to the point of al dente. So the noodles are cooked. Turn off the fire, and we're going to drain them in the colander. You don't need to drain out all the water because you need a little bit of liquid for the sauce. So we're going to add a little bit of the cooking water and blend our sauce. So the trick here is to get it a little bit more liquidy, but not too liquidy. So this looks pretty good. So now we're going to add it to our noodles. So the pesto should be served right after you mix it together. It does not keep well at all. Okay, and we like to serve a simple tomato salad with our pesto. For your presentation, always think about the color combination of what you're serving. I think the tomato salad, the red of the tomatoes really goes well with the pesto. They complement each other, and also the flavors work really well together. We hope you enjoyed our recipe today, and as we say in Germany, Guten Appetit.